Hello, everybody, and welcome to the face reading of the people in the news. For those of you who are with me today for the first time, if you get interested in the subject of face reading, you can watch my YouTube's Introduction to Face Reading and Face Reading 101 Part 1, Part 2. Today I will be talking about Steven Seagal, not because he is being on the news, but because he is being on my mind. I love movies with good martial arts scenes, and Steven Seagal is a great fighter. And I'm curious to know if his morphology, his temperament, and personality helped or maybe made it difficult for him to become the 7th Dan black belt in Aikido. So let's take a look. Here he is, Steven Seagal of today. But let us look first at him at his younger age. Does his face remind you of someone? Yes, I did the readings of these two guys. Remember what I said about their personality. It's called Saturn over Mars. Anthony Robbins, an inspirational speaker, success coach, best-selling author, and philanthropist, and O.J. Simpson. You know who he is and what he did. Just like them, Steven Seagal, at his younger age, had what we call murderous impulse. And just like Anthony Robbins, he transformed it into creativity and self-mastery. Though he still did a lot of killing in his movies, I wonder what he would do with his life if he did not act out violence in the movies or become a Buddhist, which is a very peaceful tradition. But here in his late 30s, early 40s, he is already a Mars. You may ask, how did he migrate it from being a Saturn over Mars to simply Mars? You see, as he gained weight, the chin became less pronounced and lost its importance in the whole appearance of the face. That's how it became Mars. And as he gained even more weight, he actually moved into becoming a Jupiter. And even when he lost some weight, these days, he's still a Jupiter. And here we are, came full circle. So what did all this tell us about Steven Seagal's personality as it was changing over the years? Well, he started with anger and rage, ready to go for a kill. Aikido and Buddhism, I assume, tamed the rage into confidence and courage for Mars, and later into tolerance and patience of a Jupiter. Remember, if a person lives as a certain personality for 10 or more years, even if with time the shape of their face changes, they still keep characteristics of the previous face and acquire a few new ones. So Steven is generous, courageous, and ready and willing to go for a fight as any Mars would. But also, at later age, he has become a good companion, non-imposing listener, kind and loving teacher, as any Jupiter would. And what about his temperament, his inborn qualities? Looks like he is a pure sanguine. Typical sanguine large athletic body, typical sanguine corner of the jaw and the chin. The only thing is the forehead is not tilted back like in the pure sanguine. So the chin and the forehead are on the same level, green line. And that is, of course, the feature of bilious. Here on this picture where he is older, it's much clearer. But in addition to the powerful sanguine chin, he now has that little fat under the chin, which also makes him lymphatic. Here you can see the evolution of his profile. So what can we add to what we already know about Steven Seagal from what we see? That his energy was always powerful, but not super enduring. That's from his sanguine side. But his bilious willpower, remember the bilious straight line from the forehead to the chin? His bilious willpower was always compensating where his energy level would let him down. The combination of a bilious, unyielding will, determination, clarity, and order with the sanguine risk-taking, need for change, need for action, entertainment, conquering, made Steven Seagal a perfect, non-stoppable hero that we know from his movies, as well as from the way he lives his personal life. Now, are there any weaknesses in his character? And if yes, where in his appearance do we see them? Well, there is something about his eyes from the age of 40 and on. As you can see, his right eye squinted on every picture, and I looked at many pictures. And it has not always been this way. If we look at the photos from his young age to his 40s, here, there is something going on with his left, not right, but left eye. It's slightly squinted as well. And we know that the left side is associated with the past, the right side with the present and potential for the future. So the squinted left eye goes well with what we saw in his younger face. Remember Saturn over Mars. Something in his youth drove him to rage, which later he wanted and succeeded in putting behind him. Then in his 40s, he almost succeeded in balancing his relationship with the past and the present. And then in his 50s, here we go, the right eye is closing. It may be something as simple as being afraid of aging. Not by chance he is trying to keep his look a certain way. Here, he was in his 30s losing his hair, and now a full head of black hair. Maybe it's all vanity, being afraid of getting old, losing his power, and maybe something else. But there is something that definitely concerns Stephen about where he is and where he's going. To summarize, becoming a Jupiter with a lymphatic temperament as one hits his 60s is a very good place to be. It means that the man managed to move from aggression to tolerance, from unstoppable action to contemplation, from the need to conquer to the place of appreciation of what he has. Hopefully, I'm wrong about his concerns about the future, or hopefully he is successfully addressing these concerns with his newly acquired lymphatic patience and benevolence. Then I can say the man is in a good place, and he well earned it. And that is all about Steven Seagal. Thank you for being with me today. Peace to all who want to live in peace.